Copyright intellectual property warning. Growing up black and ugly, the dark-skinned activist is my intellectual property. I have to come on here and say this to you guys because since 2015, people all over the internet as well as television have been plagiarizing and infringing upon my intellectual property. I do not have any issue with people actually taking this video and re-uploading it to their channel as long as you are honest and as long as you keep it in its original form and cite the work as belonging to Rashida Strober, the world's first dark-skinned activist and the creator of the first dark-skinned platform called Dark-Skinned Activism, created in 1998. Thank you and enjoy listening. queenofdarkskin.com. Also, I want to encourage you guys to go ahead and purchase my book. It'll be released soon. It's called Token Dark Girl. I have written more books on dark skin than anyone in the world, including A Dark Skinned Girl's Triumph, the Rashida Strober story, How to Be the Hottest Dark Skinned Chick on the Planet, which is the first motivational book for dark skinned females, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark Skinned People Are Discriminated Against, and also A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge. So Token Dark Girl is my newest release, and I encourage you to go to my website, queenofdarkskin.com, and get on the mailing list so that you will be updated when the book is released. Also, I am available for bookings of all kinds. All you have to do is contact me by visiting my website, queenofdarkskin.com, or you can email darkskinisbeautifulcampaign@gmail.com. Thank you. Everybody wants to know, who is Rashida Strober? And what's this dark-skinned thing she started? Well, Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark-skinned activist, is the first woman in history to create a movement only for dark skin. Rashida Strober is the creator, the originator, the architect of the first platform in history for dark skin. She created this dark skin platform in the year 1998 and called it dark skin activism and called herself the dark skin activist. Now, since 1998, Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark-skinned activist, built from the ground up the dark-skinned activist platform into a global brand. Facts about Rashida. Rashida Strober is the originator, creator, architect of the dark-skinned platform. 1998, Rashida gave birth to dark-skinned activism with a speech about the dark-skinned Sudanese model Alec Weck at St. Petersburg College. From 1998 to 2005, Rashida served as an activist in her community while continuing to develop creative works around only dark skin. In 2006, Rashida created the Dark Skin Activist Tour featuring her one-woman play, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge. In 2009, Rashida built the first dark skin website. Also in 2009, Rashida brought the first dark skin platform to social media by creating the first channel for dark skin on YouTube and social media. In 2012, Rashida created the first dark skin show that focused only on the issues of dark skin called A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge. In 2011, Rashida created the concept, the paradigm of Darkism. That's right, Darkism, meaning the discrimination of dark-skinned people. And she wrote and published the book, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. Now, the book can be found at queenofdarkskin.com or Amazon. In 2013, Rashida wrote the first motivational book for dark-skinned females called How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet. The book can be found at queenofdarkskin.com or Amazon. In 2013, Rashida made history by appearing on TV as the first to bring the dark skin platform to the masses by being the first to bring the bully for a dark skinned girl narrative to TV when she discussed Her play, A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, on Bay News 9. In 2014, Rashida brought dark-skin counseling online and has since counseled countless people on colorism and darkism. She is the first person in history to do colorism and darkism counseling. In 2014, Rashida introduced the Dark Skin Activist platform to the Tommy Sotomayor Show, which was previously unheard of. Since 2014, Rashida set the colorism debate standards that all others have followed by debating countless men and women on social media in regards to colorism and darkism. YouTube Rashida Strober interviews. In 2015, the dark-skinned activist brand became famous and known to millions because of the Kendrick Lamar beef Rashida had with Kendrick in regards to colorism and darkism. In 2015, people all over the world wrote about the dark-skinned activist Rashida Strober, including The Breakfast Club and Charlemagne, making Rashida Strober Donkey of the Day for being the dark-skinned activist and calling out Kendrick Lamar's colorism. In 2017, Rashida was an opponent in the first colorism/darkism debate with another woman on Sonetta TV. Rashida Strober is the first artist to focus her work only on dark skin. Rashida Strober is the first author to write only on dark skin. Rashida Strober has written more books on dark skin than anyone in the world. Rashida Strober has written more plays on dark skin than anyone in the world. Rashida Strober is the creator of social commentary on dark skin. Rashida Strober is the first actress to initiate performances only on dark skin. Rashida Strober is the first debater to focus only on darkism and colorism. Rashida Strober is the creator of the paradigm darkism. Rashida Strober is the undisputed queen of dark skin, as evidenced by her stellar record that stems back to 1998 when she built the first dark skin platform called Dark Skin Activism. QueenofDarkskin.com. Rashida Strober, the dark skin activist.
All right, y'all. Rashida Strober, the dark skin activist. What's up, everybody? Hold on one second. I got to be able to see myself today. What's up, everybody? I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all go ahead and share this video. Make sure y'all subscribe if you have not subscribed. And we don't have a lot of time today, so I'm just going to get straight down to the point. We got Brittany back on here again. Some of y'all in the comment section, in the chat box, I want to say, and honestly, I haven't looked at the video that we did or the live that we did. I think it was about 2 weeks ago or something like that. I haven't looked back at that, but apparently some of y'all in this comment section, which y'all have a right to do, y'all have been coming for Brittany. So she's back on here again. It's all about you, Brittany, to be able to come and speak your piece, make your points, defend yourself, make your arguments, whatever you want to do. So right now, I'm just going to shut up and let you take the floor and let you address whatever it is that you felt like you wanted to address with that particular live stream.
Thank you, Rashida. I really appreciate you for having me back. I did want to kind of just clarify some things, and for the people who understood what I was saying, thank you so much. For the people who didn't, at least thank you for commenting and listening to the video. But yeah, so I did want to just kind of address the light skin privilege, the futurism, and so forth. And one of the comments said, Brittany sounds full of herself, and I'm a chocolate woman with smaller features, and white people don't do us any favors. Colorism is about complexion and who is close to white. If white people accepted dark women with fine features, then why don't we see them in Hollywood or the music industry, and so forth. And so I said, however, I said, thanks for watching the video. And you do see a lot of dark-skinned women with fine features in Hollywood. They were extremely prevalent in the 90s. Aside light-skinned women, it was widely known that Whitney Houston was as successful as she was because of her assimilation into white culture because of her features, although she was a brown-skinned woman. And also, as we've all known, North Africans have been highly praised for their beauty, even by actual Africans, due to their thinner features. And so even going back to Hitler, as racist as he was even he was very taken aback and fascinated and obsessed with Nefertiti due to, although she had black skin, her features. And so I think that people don't really realize how that can definitely play a part in how a black woman gets treated, especially in a society that is so racially driven. A fat white woman is still going to have an advantage over a fat black woman. However, a fat white woman might not necessarily have an advantage over a thin black woman. So there's different isms that definitely take place when we're judging the phenotype of women. One of the other comments said, let me go to that comment. And I just wanted to address what was being said because it wasn't
right ahead.
being
Let me ask you a question though, real quickly, if you don't mind. Do you consider this, because what I got from this, and I'm always making my interpretation, as you know, and obviously other people, they're gonna make their interpretation of what comes out of a person's mouth.
Right.
That's the way it is. So what I gathered from this is a dark-skinned girl privilege. So do you think that there's dark-skinned girl privilege based on other characteristics that a dark-skinned girl has other than dark skin? And is that darkism to you?
Now, what's your definition of darkism? And that's another thing that I wanted. What's the difference between darkism and colorism?
Darkism is the discrimination based on dark skin. Dark skin. I'm glad you asked that question because it gives me a chance to clarify what black people have told me way back before social media. Black people were so upset with me because I only wanted to talk about dark skin, dark skin, dark skin. They said, why don't you address all black people? Because all black people, no matter what their skin tone, whether they be light skin, whether they be brown skin, they have the same set of issues. And I said, no, they don't. And so with saying that, to me, the concrete difference, one of the concrete differences between darkism and colorism is colorism focuses on skin tone discrimination, whether it be light skin discrimination, whether it be dark skin, whether it be brown skin. How do I know this? From simply studying the colorism scholarly literature. One of the people in the field, one of the greatest people in the field to me, is a woman named Dr. Margaret Hunter. I wish that I could interview this woman. She's light skinned, very light skinned, so-called good hair, but she is one of the people that has written the most on colorism. Like she tackles it from a global perspective, not just over here with Black Americans. She tackles it from a global perspective and economic perspective. I mean, this woman really hones in on colorism, and shout out to, again, Alice Walker for coining the term colorism. But for me, when I look at the colorism scholarly literature, which I have been studying for years, we can go all the way back to 98. Okay. The major problem was the dark skin was never addressed. And this is the reason why, that's really the reason why I became the dark skin activist. And what I started doing was searching for people, Black people, validation from Black people, and wanting them to address dark skin. They didn't want to do it. It's like this thing where Black people were afraid to specifically talk about dark skin. Like even down to my family, they would tell me, it would get so heated, they would want me to leave, get out of here. We don't want to hear that no more. Because it just hit a nerve whenever you talk specifically about dark skin. So dark skin is a special case to me. And darkism deals with the discrimination against dark skinned people. We not adding nothing else in there. It's just straight up dark skinned people. As opposed to colorism that deals with all skin tone biases, whether, like I said, brown skin, light skin, dark skin, whatever the color, even white people, you can exercise colorism. This is the argument that I'm making, because again, I'm always making my own new paradigms and interpretations. I would even make the argument that colorism can be practiced against white people as well. You can look at them, they got tans, that there's color variations within white people as well. But for me, that wasn't enough. I wanted to specifically deal with dark skin discrimination, aka darkism.
Okay. And what was your question again?
Okay, so I was listening to you speak on when you first started out to address these people and what they were saying to you, some of their criticisms. You talked about other elements that a dark skinned woman can have that may or may not cause her to have an advantage. So I was just wondering, to me, I interpreted that as asking the question, is there a such thing as dark-skinned girl privilege? And if there is a such thing as dark-skinned girl privilege, is that darkism? I got my own answers to the question, but I'm just interested in hearing what you have to say.
Okay. So privilege is also a form of darkism, is what you're saying. Not only being discriminated against in a negative connotation, but also being privileged is a form of darkism as well.
Absolutely. At the root of darkism is privilege. That's the problem. The problem is the privilege, economic privilege, social privilege, political privilege. It's not meted out fairly to dark-skinned people. So that's my whole entire problem. The privilege that goes along with light-skinned privilege or non-dark privilege. So when I hear you say things in regards to how a dark-skinned woman looks, and I've also heard there's another sister that admitted to me that she had a certain type of privilege, and she's dark skin of the type of Tatiana Ali, that type of dark skin, or Chili from TLC. To me, that says there's some form of, or there possibly could be some form of dark skin girl privilege. So I just want to know, I mean, you don't have to agree with me. I'm not asking for you to agree.
No, I just wanted to understand what darkism was and how did darkism also equal privilege being dark? But to answer the question, I don't know if there's a such thing as dark skin. I think being dark skinned in of itself is a privilege when you're talking about the earth and the sun and all of those things. But if you're talking about socially, dark skin, of course, as we've seen and as we've known, have always been at the bottom of the barrel. I wish I had my camera, y'all, because like for real, I want y'all to see who I am. But dark skin,
I would love that.
right? You know what I'm saying? But dark skinned women in of ourselves, I don't think that being dark skinned. I'm gonna give you an example, Rashida. And then I'm gonna go back to answering that question, but it kind of ties in. Yesterday, I went to the library and there was a really dark skinned Black woman, and she happened to be Jamaican when I heard her voice. And she was on the phone talking to somebody. She was outside and it's hot as hell. And some light-skinned dude was walking out the library. I'm not sure if he worked there or if he was just visiting or whatever the case may be. But she ran up to the guy trying to talk to him, and he was looking at her like she was crazy and kind of like shushing her off like he had to go, but he still was not being respectful towards her. Now, based on the interaction, I kind of know that it came from the fact that she was a really dark-skinned woman. When she spoke, she had a Jamaican accent, and at that point, I kind of didn't feel as like, compassionate towards her, because Jamaicans and a lot of islanders are really negative when it comes to dark-skinned people, even though they are dark-skinned themselves. But he was just kind of rushing her off, and the way his disposition was, it was like he was kind of looking at her like in disgust. And part of that has something to do with the fact that she was dark-skinned. That's a fact. But do I think that dark-skinned women have a form of privilege? If you're talking about hair and features, phenotypes, and so forth, that has nothing to do with their dark skin. That's outside of their dark skin. Now, having fine hair and fine or keen features matched up and paired with your dark skin, it brings about a form of exoticism. And that goes back to what I was saying when one of the other commenters left their comment, and they said Brittany is full of herself again. It is darkism that is the root cause. I've never experienced anything from police, employment, many white females hated me at work, etc. I have dated all races of men with no issue. Black men still go after me. I still have people assume I'm mixed with something, and my phenotype is West African but still considered attractive due to symmetry of my features, but my skin color is light brown. My white boyfriend preferred my natural hair. My white husband prefers my natural hair. Her features have nothing to do with why she hasn't suffered. Attractiveness is based on facial symmetry, not features. Her face is symmetrical. Women perpetuate that featureism, snobbish more than men. So it seemed like this person's issue was more so with the fact that she did not have certain features. And so she wanted to keep it. She wanted to harp on the fact that, of course, she was brown skinned. So my thing is, why is it that we can talk on, you being light brown and you feeling that that is a form of a privilege for you, or that's helped you in certain instances, but you don't want to accept the fact that features and hair type and so forth can also play a part? I guess it hit a nerve because she doesn't have those features. But anyway, so I then went ahead and said, West African features mixed with European features is the face that you see in America that is the representation of beauty. That is why Black women are upset with the Kardashians. They have white features and enhance certain features to look more African. And when I say what I mean by upset with the Kardashians, because these Kardashian women, while they are still white, they can still take phenotypes and features from Black women and get praised for it. All right. And then I said, while on Black women, those Black features are not praised on a wide scale. That is a fact based on this society that is racist. I never stated that I thought whiter features were less attractive. Just as Rashida isn't saying that light skin looks better. However, that doesn't stop the media, Black men in society, generally speaking, that promotes those features as attractive. The white girl with Black features is exotic, just as the Black girl with the so-called white features or non-common to Black features are seen as exotic. And unfortunately, that is a fact. So you see the Kardashians, they are white women, but they do have Black features, or they went ahead and enhanced certain features to look more African. If you look at Kim Kardashian in this particular picture, she looks like or can pass for a light-skinned biracial woman. And if you look up some of their most recent pictures, you'll be able to see if you look up their individual pictures, the sisters, the daughters, you'll be able to see that a lot of them have went ahead and enhanced themselves to look more Black. And these pictures might be a little bit older because they still look very Europeanized, except for Kim. But all of the rest of them, if you look up their most current photos, they look very Blackish, but they still have a white phenotype. So unfortunately, that's the face that is seen as beautiful. And anybody can Google up the Khloe Kardashian. They have the big ass. Kim Kardashian. They have, all of these phenotypes. Kylie Jenner, who went ahead and did all of this stuff to herself to make herself look more Black. It's just, it is what it is. Unfortunately, those Black phenotypes are not seen as attractive on Black women. It's just not. That's the reason why you have a lot of Black women that are going to contour their nose or getting surgery to get their nose thin, getting surgery to get their already plump lips puffed the fuck out to look like the Kardashians. They're getting their skin lightened. They're getting their hair straightened. They're getting their already naturally round asses rounder because they're trying to imitate a woman that's trying to imitate them. So the reality is that most Black men in America will date a Black woman, but the fact of the matter is, unfortunately, they don't necessarily, all of them really want Black women. Let me go ahead and read another comment because I know that our time is limited, and I broke this down in full to one of your other guests. Let me go ahead and see if I can find that comment.
No, go right ahead. I just wanted to make a comment here and just let you know what my answer to the question is with dark-skinned girl privilege. I do think that there's a form of dark-skinned girl privilege, provided that you have features that are not akin to African features. If you look like a person, again, the best examples that I like to use is people. Let me just pull this up real quick. If you look like, for example, I love using Chili. She is the best example to me from TLC. Beautiful young lady. And when I think back on Usher, his marriage to two dark-skinned women, people hated one and loved the other. And I think that's what I mean when I say there is a form of dark girl privilege, because
me and Chili kind of resemble on that picture. Not resemble in the face that not that one. Not that one.
Which one?
We resemble in the exit out.
Wait a minute.
Exit that in that gray right there.
Uh-oh. I don't want to take it all the way out because
no, you see that gray right there next to her picture, that gray X right there, where it says TLC's Chili responds to. Yeah, oh. You see that picture right there, the one where it's like, no, the other one.
This one?
The other one. That one.
Okay.
You remember that video that I sent you?
Yes.
I was very tired in that motherfucking video. But if you see what I'm saying about the kind of like elongated, smaller nose, the dark eyebrows, and the brownish type of a skin with the baby hairs and all that type of shit.
Right.
That is what people, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's a form of dark skin privilege, in my opinion, but it's just that she has different phenotypes on dark skin.
That's my point. I believe that when you look like Chili and you're dark skinned, there is dark girl privilege. There is. If you look like, let me pull up Tamika. And again, the Tamika situation, being married to Usher versus Chili dating Usher, people, let me just type in pictures of Tamika. Pictures of Tamika Raymond. People, they're both dark skinned, but Tamika, you know, she has the hair, the weave, and the extensions, and you know, she's a typical Black woman. People hated Tamika, said she looked like a man. It was absolutely horrendous. I'll never forget where I saw the comments by mostly Black women on Media Takeout. I don't know if they stuff down, but Media Takeout was the spot where they used to go in on Tamika. They were so mad when they got married back in 2008, saying she looked like a man, she was ugly, you know. So to me, this exemplifies classic dark-skinned girl privilege when you look like Chili and you're dark-skinned, as opposed to when you look like Tamika, because what else could it be? I mean, they're both dark-skinned.
Right.
So that to me, just to answer the question, so that people might be watching this, they might want to know, okay, what's the answer? What's the answer to the question that I have? I do think that there is dark-skinned girl privilege when you look like Chili. And also, I would just like to throw in, I mean, this is my personal opinion. I could be wrong because I don't know Tamika or I don't know Usher personally, but I do believe that Darkism had a lot to do with the demise of his marriage. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's really interesting. But Tamika also, it got to her because she went ahead and had several rounds of skin lightening, did some stuff to her features to make herself look less West African or African. And then to kind of just piggyback off of what you were saying, when I had responded to one of your comments or one of your viewers' comments, again, she said that she doesn't see white feature or Black women with small features presented in Hollywood. And then that's when I went ahead and I did say it is widely known about the Whitney Houston was successful because of her assimilation into white culture because of her features. I can only speak on what has benefited me socially aside from complexion. North Africans have been praised for their beauty due to their so-called small, thinner features by not only Americans, but other Africans as well. I'm not full of myself at all. I'm just explaining how society chooses to judge beauty. It doesn't start with me. Tatiana Ali didn't necessarily have keen features. She looked very like the Australians in Australia in her younger years. However, her loosely curly hair texture is what got her the part in The Fresh Prince, and she even stated that herself. Maya Campbell was the 90s it girl. She was dark-skinned with an Indianish tone, smaller facial features, and her hair was processed to straighten it and also darkened it to give her a more Indian look, which made her more exotic than the regular so-called quote-unquote regular looking dark-skinned Black girl. Also note that just because you have smaller features does not mean that you don't look like the so-called regular Black girl. Ambiguity is what makes the difference. And then I went on to explain to her, or she said, I agree. All of a sudden now she says she agreed, and she says I like bragging, or I'm always bragging about the relationships that I have with wealthy white doctors. The poor whites, especially the women, are threatened by the thought of a cuter and wealthier Black woman. And I said, I don't date outside my race, so I could care less how white people feel. Most of their dealings with Blacks are perverted. I was just informing you of how whites with real money elevate brown, dark-skinned Blacks that have features that aren't truly relatable, to the average Black woman they market to. That is why weaves, makeup, and makeup are big with Black women. They are trying to attain a look that isn't natural to themselves. These women that I'm speaking of as far as that had the so-called privilege are Vivica A. Fox, Naomi Campbell, Maya Campbell, Kenya Moore, Tatiana Ali, Ananda Lewis, etc. All of these women were brown-skinned 90s it girls that either looked Indian mixed or had a white girl dipped in chocolate appeal. Them being promoted wasn't a bad thing because it did show that Black women could be beautiful and are beautiful. These women were ultimately made wealthy because of their looks. And the light skinned, mostly short, but can be tall, big booty girls are elevated by black male rappers exclusively. And then I asked her, does she see the difference? And her response was, yes, she does see the difference, and so forth. And then I went ahead and just elaborated, and this is a breakdown for anybody who wants to understand what this featureism and so forth is. And then I said, unfortunately, black male rappers have a larger influence on the everyday black male, whether it be working class men or impoverished black men. That is the effect of colorism, darkism that Rashida speaks to. This is widely why light-skinned women are chosen amongst black men on a larger scale. The foot runners of colorism are usually black males, while billionaire white men sit back and play the conquer and divide tactics while laying up with their Naomi Campbells. The black rappers are the chess pieces. Once the black man is affected by this colorism, it trickles down to the black and sometimes biracial women mixed with black. These light-skinned and biracial women may not get privileged amongst or with white men, but they know that they can always hop over to black men and get treated like queens. This ultimately leaves dark-skinned and brown-skinned black women at the bottom, with light-skinned, fully black women with West African features just a bit above dark-skinned black women when it comes to black men. At this point, there becomes jealousy because whether it's spoken or not, heterosexual women are usually in competition when it comes to getting the attention of the opposite sex. This is just a part of nature and mating. If my chances of finding the opposite sex as a partner is limited because this woman has light skin or long hair or keen features, I'm not going to want to be around her. You know what I'm saying? And this is not speaking about me directly, but on a general perspective.
Right.
This is why women that are close friends a lot of the time usually have similarities physically or are equally as attractive. Occasionally, you may have the ugly duckling of the crew, but that is usually because she wants to be elevated in the light of her attractive friend Shadow. And I saw a lot of that at Howard. And then you may have the cute girl that hangs with the ugly women to be seen as the most prettiest. Also, keep in mind, black women usually have a closer relationship to their children, which is why the colorism is passed down from generations to generations. Again, it affects the black men. Once it affects the black men, it affects the black woman that closely relates to the idea of unattractiveness. That black woman then goes ahead and passes it down to her kids. So it appears that black women perpetuate colorism more than black men. And this is pretty much just how the shit is set up. And then I also put that these are the fine print details that racism doesn't tell you. And then I went ahead and put a side note. It says black men see complexion first. Rich white men looking for models in the entertainment industry seek features first. So, but you also have poor middle class white males that are also, or middle class white males that are also influenced by media that occasionally see color in black women as well as how black men sees them. And the reason for that is because although they are white, they have no dominance in the media society and are being played as pawns in the conquer and divide game amongst blacks as well. Again, although they are not dominating the media, their whiteness still gives them an advantage in society over black men, which is why black men want to have what is close to white in every aspect. And after money comes the white girl or the light girl. And if they can get a light-skinned girl or a white girl before money, they usually would. And then, this is the last bit of this. Black men see facial features when nothing else is presented, such as the light skin. However, the woman has to be undeniably attractive in the face. Most black males don't care if she has West African features and is attractive. And why is it that they don't care if she has West African features? Because black men, again, want what is proximate to non-blackness, meaning anyone who is perceived as mixed or is mixed is always seen as better to a lot of black males, even if she isn't more attractive. Now, this doesn't mean that black men won't date black women with West African features, whether light or dark. However, usually those men themselves are not at the top of the food chain for reasons such as finances, social status, attractiveness, etc. And if he is with a black woman with dark skin and West African features, he has to truly have knowledge and love of self, because black men have been beaten down so bad just simply for being black. So of course that's going to make them have a disdain for anything that looks like them. So unfortunately, the dark-skinned woman with the West African features, even keen features, has to do research on him in hopes of not being used in some way, which means that she needs to know what women he usually prefer, what women he dated, and so forth. Because black men prey on dark-skinned women just as much as fat women. that they believe have low self-esteem. Again, Black men usually unfortunately prey on dark-skinned women and fat women that they believe have low self-esteem. So I'm not saying all dark-skinned women and fat women. And so that's why I said, why do you believe that most of these celebrities have dark-skinned baby mamas? It definitely wasn't love, or in some cases attractiveness. Black men don't usually want to produce themselves or be with anyone that looks like them in regards to what they perceive as a representation of struggle. And so that is a breakdown of how colorism and features and hair and so forth, in my perspective, plays a part on Black people, in particular Black women that are dating. It leaves us at a very it leaves us really having to know who the hell we're dealing with. Also, I said a lot of Black men secretly fear the Black girls with the so-called keen features or attractive features or whatever, because at that point a lot of them realize that although she's attractive, the issue is not her attractiveness. Now it's her dark skin. Again, a lot of Black men are color struck and they have issues with that. So it doesn't matter how pretty she is, it's the fact that she's dark skinned, and that's just something that they do not want to continue to breed. Is dark skin. You might have nice features, but again, dark skin is just seen as something that's for a lot of people who are color struck, Black people, especially the Dominicans. Amara La Negra was just talking about this on her Vlad interview, which is interesting. But basically this just goes and proves what I was saying is that, you know, a lot of Black men like to use the excuse that dark skinned women are just ugly, and that's not the case, because not all dark skinned women look the same. You know what I'm saying? So the dark-skinned women with the keen features or the pretty hair, if you've noticed, mostly all of them, aside from Vivica A. Fox, have dated white men. So, I mean, although they got privilege and were able to be in Black male videos and they were able to be the it girls because of those specific features, they still were not chosen by Black men, or they had family members that said that although you got those pretty features and that nice hair, you want to continue to breed, you know, that color out. And so that's really what happens within this whole colorism, keen featureism, and all that type of bullshit. But it does play a part, and it really is effective when dealing with society and how society chooses to view you. And again, Black dark-skinned women in particular have to really know, you know, who I know a girl who said that her dude, and it was on a video, it was a YouTube video. She said her dude only dated dark-skinned women, but then she found out that his preference was Spanish girls or something to that effect. There's a guy who I know in particular. He always commented on Black women in particular. He kept saying how he loved chocolate. And now he's with a Spanish Cuban white girl. So, you know, I mean, colorism plays a huge part. I had another homeboy who said to me that he preferred white girls or light-skinned girls, but his baby mama was dark-skinned with a fat ass, so he chose her because she had a big ass. So unfortunately, this plays a huge part in Black women and Black male relationships.
Okay, so are you open to questions?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop the screen sharing. I'm going to go to the chat box and see what people are saying. I'm going to scroll up because there's other people on here that came later. Okay, I'm just going to read through some of these comments here. Some of them are just comments, some of them are questions. And if you hear something that you want to chime in on, just feel free to jump right in. So shout out to Y Soma. I apologize. The words are so small, I cannot see all the words in your name. So I'm going to call you Y Soma. Shout out to you. I apologize. I hope I don't offend you by not pronouncing your first name. But you said just because someone doesn't find you attractive doesn't mean that it's colorism. It's just preference. You also said you can't force someone to like you. Rachel Dennis Jefferson, you said, you asked me if I enjoyed the royal wedding. That's a whole nother live. I'm gonna do a whole nother live on that. I got a major problem with that, but I'm gonna keep reading. Let's see. Rachel, you also said, I think dark-skinned women are doing great in 2018. Look at Serena Williams. She is dark-skinned. married to a successful white man, and is living the life. But I personally don't know your experience, Rashida. Okay, we'll keep that question on whether or not dark-skinned women are doing well in 2018. You can chime in at any time.
I believe that dark-skinned women are definitely doing well in 2018. I think that, however, though, you're speaking of dark-skinned celebrities, and I do believe that dark-skinned women on a whole are doing well, but for the average dark-skinned woman that's walking around, although she may be doing well socioeconomically, she may not be doing well in the dating department, and that also definitely plays a part in how a person feels about themselves.
Right. I would also argue, just to add to that, I don't think dark-skinned women are doing well. Now, in my book, and I'm gonna promote the hell out of this book, Token Dark Girl, I speak on dark-skinned women over the years that have been used as nothing but tokens. They are dark girls of the moment. You mentioned Amara, who I believe, and I'm just gonna say this, people got a problem with it, oh well, who I believe, going back to her Breakfast Club interview, the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne made me donkey of the day for calling myself the dark-skinned activist in 2015, but then you bring someone on to regurgitate what I've been saying for years. I take offense at that because I am the creator of the dark-skinned platform. That's a whole nother issue. But what it speaks to is, Amara, I can make a great argument that you're a token dark girl of the moment. Just like all the other token dark girls that come along every couple of years. That's why people need to read this book, because I detailed it, put it in detail, provided evidence, prove this, because that's all I care about is what is factual. There are token dark girls that come along every few years. People love Lupita. She's always going to be beautiful. Lupita is a token dark girl, in my humble opinion. Who else do I talk about in the book? Oprah Winfrey, probably the most successful token dark girl of all time.
Right. And that I agree. That's in the entertainment industry. But as far as like everyday life,
let me finish the point that I was making.
okay.
Me and you are also going to agree.
Mm-hmm.
In this book, I call it the trickle down effect. And I also talk about Whoopi Goldberg, who exemplifies the trickle down effect through what I call the Seeley effect. When you're dealing with dark-skinned girls in everyday life, I don't believe that the success of token dark girls trickled down to regular average dark-skinned women. And I'm not going to go into detail anymore. This is why y'all need to get this book, because if you read the book, you will completely understand. And I make the argument that token dark girl has pros and cons, but I'm looking at more so on the sides of the cons, because I don't believe that it trickles down. And this goes into a whole nother sphere of talking about other subtopics like capitalism, those types of things, where when we talk about privilege, we talked about earlier, what does privilege mean? Well, privilege falls over into a capitalist society, where if we are struggling to make it up the ladder, then what does that mean for the average everyday dark-skinned girl who these tokens at the top, Oprah Winfrey, and this is no shade to these women, y'all. I'm dealing with this from an intellectual level. This is no shade. If you take it as shade, oh well, I can't stop that. But the bottom line is, I don't believe that their dark girl tokenism trickles down to dark-skinned girls who are at the bottom of the economic ladder in America. So it's bigger than that. It's even bigger than just being dark-skinned, because again, if we go back to the privileges, we're talking about socioeconomic privileges. Y'all make no mistake. I think that people keep missing that from me, because I guess I talk about celebrities and their darkism, but at the root of this is socioeconomic issues. Talking about Jackie Christie. Jackie Christie, honey, you in the position that you in socioeconomically, I can make a solid argument because you're light-skinned. To me, you're light-skinned. You're not dark. And your daughter, Takari, is in the position that she's in because she's dark-skinned.
Right.
I'm just saying. But I just had to throw that in there.
But I also think too that, again, had Takari had, and I believe dark skin discrimination plays a part for sure. But even for the token dark skinned girls that most of them do get a pass, I mean, that's media based. I believe that as far as the world goes nowadays, I've seen a lot of dark-skinned Black women in corporate jobs. I've seen a lot of dark-skinned Black women in positions of prestige. Now, I do believe that when we're speaking of when I see the Jack and Jill situation, and the Blacks who have made it as far as the talented tenths and things of that nature go, I've seen a lot of light-skinned women, but again, I've also seen a lot of dark-skinned women that had a white girl disposition, or her phenotype again was not, as you say, the silly dark skinned girl. And so again, featureism plays a part, just like in the movie that Spike Lee had when he was talking about the jigaboos and the wannabes. If you look really close, the wannabes had like 2 or 3 dark skinned girls on their end. So there is something to it when we're speaking of the dark skinned girl with certain phenotypes and certain hair. And again, I mean, I'm not really sure how that in particular tie into Hollywood, because these women are on a whole different socioeconomical status, and most of these women are not even dating Black men. So I mean, that's just my take on it. I believe that dark-skinned Black women do have a certain level of uprising in the everyday concept, but as far as Hollywood, you only see specks. And again, most of those Black women who are elevated, unfortunately, they're not dating Black men. Oprah has Stedman, but a lot of people really think Stedman is gay and he's more of a beard. I don't know. But you don't really see a lot of those dark-skinned women dating Black men, unfortunately. And Serena Williams isn't dating a Black man. Issa Rae is definitely not talking about or promoting Black men and Black women relations. Lupita Nyong'o, I guess she's dating a Black guy, but even you don't really see him out there in the forefront or promoted. So unfortunately, that's just how the system goes. Again, I don't believe that these women were also really picked by Black men either. I think there's no mistake as to why a lot of these light-skinned women, such as the Beyoncés, the Alicia Keys, who could have dated a white man who was just as powerful, if not as powerful, in that worldly industry as their significant others. I don't think it's a mistake that they chose those Black dudes. I mean, you would think, well, if she's light-skinned, why wouldn't she want to get a billionaire white guy, right? Because I mean, who don't like Black men? It's unfortunate though, Black men just are not choosing women who do not fit that wannabe. You know what I mean? That wannabe, that Spike Lee wannabe stereotypical type of a woman. It's just unfortunate. And so that's what leaves a lot of the time Black women at a disadvantage, and unfortunately dating white men who dog them out.
Okay, let me go back to the comment section and try to get through as many questions as we can. Real quick, I want to just remind everybody to make sure you go make a donation. It's actually not a donation, it's really a gift, because you're getting something in return. You're getting my book. You're getting Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. And anybody that donates $25 or more, you're going to get a autographed copy of my book. Shout out to my brother in St. Petersburg. I ran into yesterday. He purchased the book, and I don't get a lot of support from my hometown. It's been like that. This is why I decided to take to the internet. But the support is starting to come more in St. Petersburg. I actually have an interview with one of the Muslim brothers here coming up on June 3rd. So I'm going to be releasing that interview on, I don't know if he's going to be doing it on his social media or where, but shout out to brother John Muhammad, who you was one of the people that said, this doesn't make any sense. But you see now, 5-6 years later, you know what it is. So I can't do nothing but respect you for inviting me up on your platform for that. So I thank you. That interview is coming up, I think, June 3rd. But I want to say real quickly, I have to say this, that Brittany, your assessment is absolutely brilliant to me. I just think it is. I think it's clear, it's concise. I may not agree with everything. I don't care about agreeing with somebody is not the issue to me. Understanding where a person is coming from is the issue to me. So I just want to say that I think that you have a really, really good assessment of colorism, of darkism from your point of view. And that's very important that these different points of views are out there so that people can understand that not everybody is going to think the same way about it. There is going to be a divergence. Somebody said, you're right, not here for it. You said, Rashida, you need a huge marketing team. Email me. You're absolutely right. That's why they are able to come in thinking that they could rip me off, but I got something for that ass. I got something for that ass. Don't ever fucking count me out, ever. You do.
And also, y'all, I'm excited that video got a whole lot of views. That video got a lot of views. That last video.
Oh, so. Yeah, it did. But you know what, though? I hate to say this. I'm going to keep this 100. Whenever someone talks about, and I've noticed this is darkism to me. If I come on here and talk about a light-skinned woman going in on her, people like hearing the title alone, light-skinned Cardi B or whatever the hell it says. All the light-skinned ones I notice, they get a lot of that. To me is darkism. Like, why are you clicking on the light-skinned person when you see light-skinned Cardi B? That's what I'm saying. That is economics, because obviously with the monitor, and let me just tell y'all something. For y'all that's thinking that Rashida Strober is making all this damn money off of YouTube, I do not make my money off of no YouTube. Okay, let's get that clear. I do not make no lot of money off of YouTube. So I'm not really so much concerned about the ad revenue, because that's not where my money comes from. Okay, my money that I make, which people are mad, I don't understand why, because I actually wrote the fucking books. And there's other published authors out here that write books and they make money, but y'all mad at me saying, oh, you make money. Why? My money comes from my books and from me doing my fucking shows. So the thing is, with the ad revenue, if the more views you get, obviously the more money you can make off of your YouTube videos. But we see, and y'all can do a study on this, it is these light-skinned people that get the most views. Go research it. If you think I'm making this, go research it. Go research. Let me get off that, because I just thought I don't want to get off on a tangent. I want to get to these questions here. Wait a minute. Let's see. Because there was some questions up here. Okay. RBR Network. Shout out to you. You light skin too. You light skin. You said black men don't choose women. That's another lie. Women choose, and they only want black men who date white women. Feel free to chime in whenever you get ready. I'm just reading their comments here. Let's see. Not here for it says, yeah, I knew dark-skinned women with mixed women hair, and they got preferential treatment.
Exactly. And in one of your other comments, this guy sounds like a straight weirdo. The Messiah, the Black Messiah, he's just ranting, and I ain't even gonna go through that. He says I sound like a tramp hooker, plus if she was pretty like an Ethiopian. Whatever.
Wait. Oh, you know what? I really don't want y'all to like, because I like both of y'all, and I do respect my fans or followers, and I respect you. I hate when but you know what? I can't control it. I'm just saying I don't like it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
People do it to me all the time, but I really don't like the guests to be disrespected, because I'm just being honest with y'all. I respect your point of view, Brittany. You know this. I do. Mm-hmm. I just do. Whether I agree with it or not is a moot point. I actually respect you having the courage to speak how you feel in regards to these issues of darkism and colorism and how you see it. So we respect that.
Yeah, and I know that we don't have enough time or much time left, but I wanted to just basically respond to the people who may have been misunderstood what I was saying on a previous video. And I just wanted to clarify that, because again, there is levels to this shit. And at the end of the day, you got to have love for yourself. When you have love for yourself, you're drawing all this positivity, regardless of what your complexion is. You just need to know who you're dealing with, because you could be light skinned and deal with a man and still get your ass beat. You can be dark skinned and deal with a man and still get your ass beat and mistreated. I personally have not gone through no shit like that. Hopefully I don't. And so again, I mean, it happens. Unfortunately, you have men that have preferences. You have people that have preferences. And once you know what this person is about, if they satisfy you, stay. If they don't, keep it moving. And that's really what it's ultimately about, is who makes you happy. If that person truly genuinely loves you, or if this person is trying to use you, that can be relatable throughout any color or racial spectrum. But at the end of the day, we're talking about colorism and dark skin, and you know how this can affect that particular dating or lifestyle or living situation. I mean, I can honestly say I'm blessed, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people can say the same for themselves, but we do have to be very aware of how dark-skinned people are treated in society, how fat people are treated in this society, how light-skinned people are treated in this society. And they do get certain levels of privilege. Again, you see in Hollywood where Tatiana Ali looks very, she looks like an Australian, like those blacks in Australia, but she has that hair, and that's what got her where she was and where she is today. So have to be very, very real about that. And unfortunately, you know, it may hurt some people's feelings, but it's a reality. Just love yourself and forget what the society tries to tell you. This is beautiful.
Right. Let me see if I can. I'm going to go through the chat box here because I know that people got a lot of comments and questions. Y'all get on me for not getting in the chat enough, but I'm trying my best to do so. So, Rachel, you said, I agree with you on this. Slim, dark-skinned women. I do think of slim, dark-skinned women have a privilege, but I got a lot to say about that because I used to be real skinny in high school, and I used to get picked on for being too skinny and dark-skinned. So, I don't know. But anyway, let me scroll back up.
Oh my God. Hold on. I'm sorry. RBR Network, you are so fucking right. Yvette Carnell, although she's light-skinned, she do not get white privilege because she does not have certain features. She does not have certain hair texture. She is not cute, and therefore she's bitter as fuck, and she rants to black people. RBR, you are so fucking right.
Wait a minute. Who is? Wait. Let me Google it. Google this person while you're talking, so you can keep going and people can get a visual. What's her name again?
Her name is Yvette Carnell. Yvette Carnell is a very light-skinned black woman with green eyes. She is not attractive. She has very black features, very African features, and she has kinky hair. Okay. And although she has light skin and green eyes, she does not get a pass from white people because she still looks black. So she runs to black people because she can get a pass over there, but she don't even like black people for real. Like the way she talks is like you can sit there and tell that, you know, it's like she's pissed off that she got to even, this is how she got to survive. It's going on this end. And Cynthia G is not light skinned.
Wow. I mean, I'm looking at this woman now, and my argument would be you're still going to get light skin privilege, whether or not. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to mention this person's name because I don't want to be rude, but I know some light skinned people.
She may get it amongst the black community, but not with white people like that.
I think that they would still get preferential. Well, I've actually seen ugly light-skinned people get preferential treatment with white people over beautiful or better-looking dark-skinned people. So, man, I don't know. It could be regional. I'm down here in the South, and I know that oh my God, I ain't gonna say this person. I ain't gonna say your name. I'm not gonna do that. But I will never forget. I went to a job interview with this particular light-skinned person who is horrendous looking. Okay, they just are not cute at all. But I had qualifications. I had my high school diploma. I had more qualifications. I was qualified for the job. And the white manager decided to hire the light-skinned black person who was horrendous looking, who was not a high school graduate over me. This is a fact. I wish I could say this. I ain't gonna do it though. This happened when we was like teenagers. I would never forget. And I was like, I had my diploma. I had just got my GED at the time. I was respectful. I was mannerable. I was all of that. It didn't help.
Okay, Rashida, did you say we got to stop at 1:30?
Yeah, I gotta, because I keep talking. I gotta get out of here because I do have to go to work today. That's why we have to end it. But go ahead, take the floor.
What time we ending?
Let's see, it's 1:30. Let's go to 1:40. Because I know you probably got some last.
No, I really don't have anything else to say. I mean, at the end of the day, we all know that dark skin discrimination is very real, and dark skinned people do get treated. I mean, I'm going through a situation right now in my apartment complex with this crazy ass maintenance man that I told you about, Rashida. And I know for a fact, had I been a white girl or a Spanish bitch, I wouldn't be going through that. And he's a black man. And you know, that's just the fact. Like, or if I was a racially ambiguous light skinned girl, I wouldn't be going through this shit. So I understand how this shit works. It's like a motherfucker feel like they can actually do more and get away with more when you're dark skinned as a dark skinned black woman. They just feel like they can get away with doing a lot of nasty, undermining shit. But they don't understand that money talk, bullshit walk. So you can't just, but that's a whole other situation. But I get how that can definitely play a part in how people feel like they can get over on you or can mistreat you or whatever the case may be. But I've also seen the other end. I've also experienced in the South when I first came to Georgia, I was about 200 pounds. That was when I had just left Howard and I was eating a lot. I was about 200 pounds. And I remember so vividly, I was in this store. And at that time, I was wearing makeup because I didn't know how to take care of my skin. You know, I was breaking out or whatever the case may be. And I went to this store to buy some clothes for a job. And I had on my interview clothes. And so it was a black lady. I'll never forget this. And that's why I say being tall, dark skinned, and heavy set, you get treated horribly. So this woman was a black woman, and the way she acted towards me was almost like she was in disgust. But she was doing that to assimilate herself with the white people there, like to say, I'm not like this one. So I've seen that. I've also went to a Jamaican restaurant. I was still in the same shape that I was at this time, but I had my hair out and it was curly, wavy, whatever. And I remember the black Jamaican lady who worked there just gave me like some second-class citizen service. She was real nasty to me, and actually gave me some burnt motherfucking Jamaican patties. But everybody else that came in there, including the white guy, she was real nice to. So I knew that my complexion had something to do with it, and the fact that I was heavy at that time, and I wasn't that goddamn big, but I was just really thick, really tall. Again, I was darker because I had, although I stayed in DC for a year, I was still just like from Miami. So, I mean, the sun is like, you get darker in certain climates. And I wasn't really taking care of my skin. So I had this makeup that I didn't really know how to even put the fuck on. And I was just treated differently. I was not treated as nice as I am currently being treated now. I've seen the difference.
I agree. Just to piggyback off of what you're saying, in my play, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, there's a heavy-set, dark-skinned character in the play, and I do wear a fat suit to make myself like really, really huge. And yeah, it's and every time I present that character, people go crazy because they know what the big elephant in the room is. They know that they're laughing because she's fat and dark skinned. Also, people like, I gotta talk about you, Eddie Murphy. And people like Eddie Murphy have made millions of dollars by using fat, dark skinned characters in movies. That to me is a form of darkism. In fact, I talk about your ass in this book, Eddie Murphy, using fat, what's her name? Respucia? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Using fat, dark-skinned women because you know that people are going to laugh. You know, I mean, let's keep it 100. If any of y'all have gone to church, y'all done seen, especially a Pentecostal church, y'all done seen these big, fat black women that people sit in church and kids, they laugh at them, especially if they start shouting and carrying on. That's what, you know, my character does. She get it on. People go to laughing. They think it's funny because she's fat and dark skin. So, and that leads me into, I'm gonna be honest. One of my biggest things being a dark skinned woman, this is with me personally. I'm not a fool. I don't care what nobody say. I ain't no damn fool. I've seen myself, like you said, when I was fat, and I'm 5'10", so I considered myself fat when I was around 190 pounds or something like that. When I was pregnant with Lauren, I gained all that damn weight. I was a hot ass mess. And yes, you do get treated differently.
Yes.
So I said to myself, I got to lose this damn weight, and I did. That's why, y'all, I am a vegan. I will highly advocate veganism. Summertime is coming around. I'm going high raw vegan. I might end up being a damn raw vegan all the way. I run all the time. I highly advocate to dark-skinned women, and y'all can go to my website, queenofdarkskin.com, get How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet. That's the free ebook right there. It's free ebook, not in the hardcover form, but ebook. I speak about veganism, raw food, exercise, what, because if you dark-skinned, you just need to keep yourself in shape. I'm keeping that 100. I mean, because if you go and you get fat, it's gonna be a problem. You're gonna be upset. So let's just be honest. When some people get mad at me when I say, I'm not trying to offend nobody, but for me, I like my current weight is probably around 150-ish right now, because it's hot down here in Florida. I do a lot of damn running, and I like being nice and slim. Yes, it is a vanity thing for me, but it's also, I already know what time it is. If my ass, I was talking to one of my, a friend of mine who, I dated him a while ago, and he saw some pictures. I said, Black men are visual. If a woman is big and fat and Black, I mean like real big and fat and Black, and then the weight is not even, they're not gonna even talk to them. Or if they do, it's gonna be for usury. So yeah. Black women, dark-skinned women, one of the most important things y'all could do, I'm telling you, like, please listen to me. Do not, let me just say it like this. Go vegan. I ain't gonna say don't gain weight, because I don't want to offend nobody.
And they use Black women even if you're skinny in some instances.
Well, that's true, but I've gotten, I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to talk about it too much, but I can walk in the store, I can walk anywhere, I can go any fucking where looking like being nice and slim and get somewhat of the royal treatment from Black men.
Right.
That's just the truth. But like I said, when I was 190 after having Lauren, it was like nobody was holding the door open for me. None of that bullshit was going on. It was like, look and turn their head. So what I'm saying, like, I really believe that, I see like some of these little girls, they be heavy set, they be dark skinned. I be thinking to myself, if I could just pull their mothers to the side and they would listen to me and not think that I'm being mean or rude. I'm concerned about your health, and I'm concerned about you being a dark-skinned girl growing up in the world, and tell them, look, let's switch this over to veganism. Let's do this. Let me show you a better way on how you could do this. But people will be offended by what I be saying, but I know I'm saying the fucking truth. I know you know it. You even sitting here confirming it. It's insane. Like, we got so much stuff to contend with. Y'all make sure to donate. Go ahead, because we got about 2 more minutes. I gotta get out.
Well, it's almost time to go. Tomorrow's my birthday. I've been having so many blessings been falling upon me. Like, oh my God, like $1,200 just got dropped into my account this morning.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, God is good, girl. And I need to go get my hair done. I need to do something.
May 23rd.
Yes.
Are you a Taurus or are you a Cancer? Which one is that?
I'm a Gemini.
I'm all off. Damn.
I am a Gemini, girl.
Oh my God. Okay, you a Gemini. Like one of my other favorite. I think she dark skinned. I think she's a Gemini. I was rooting for her. I know what she did was wrong, but she's married to Papoose, the rapper. Damn.
Remy Ma.
Okay.
Listen, Remy Ma, Azalea Banks, Tupac, Biggie, Marilyn Monroe.
Wow.
You could see the person that there's a person. These people are very passionate, iconic people for whatever reason or another. Kanye West.
I didn't know he was a Gemini.
Yeah. Donald Trump.
Oh wow! Lord!
Yeah, these people they go getters and they get what the fuck they need to get, Lord. So.
Yeah, Remy got out of prison, and she just, man, I love how she just, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm biased. If we can't have Lauren, I want Remy to be yes, I do. I want her to be the top. She is way more talented than light-skinned Cardi B. Sit down. Remy will fucking, oh my God. Just sit down somewhere. But that's a whole nother topic. I ain't gonna.
Yes. Yes, not here for it. I completely agree. And thank you guys for listening. Thank you so much, Rashida, for having me on.
No, thank you. I appreciate you coming and giving your view, and I think I know that people appreciate it as well. So y'all make sure y'all put y'all comments in the comment section. Once I release this video, because it goes up after we're done. Also, I want to remind everybody, y'all need to go make a damn donation. Why y'all know I got Token Dark Girl coming out. I told y'all a million times in my live streams that I am an independent artist, meaning I foot the bill for every damn thing. So if you support the work that I have been doing since 1998 with a proven track record, go ahead and make a donation. If you make a donation, obviously you're going to get a copy of my book. It's going to be autographed, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. And the funds are going to go towards the printing of the first set of copies for Token Dark Girl. So my goal is to print out 100 copies of Token Dark Girl. That's going to cost roughly around $300 to print. And then, of course, there's other expenses for the distribution and marketing. So once again, before I leave out, I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and make a donation. And I'm going to put that information is right there in the chat box. And, of course, it's always going to be below in the description box. So I got to get out of here. Thank you again, Brittany. I appreciate you coming on. Y'all watching.
All right. Bye.
All right. It's the Queen of Dark Skin, Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark skin activist. And I'll talk to y'all again soon. All right. queenofdarkskin.com.
Copyright intellectual property warning. Growing up black and ugly, the dark-skinned activist is my intellectual property. I have to come on here and say this to you guys because since 2015, people all over the internet as well as television have been plagiarizing and infringing upon my intellectual property. I do not have any issue with people actually taking this video and re-uploading it to their channel as long as you are honest and as long as you keep it in its original form and cite the work as belonging to Rashida Strober, the world's first dark-skinned activist and the creator of the first dark-skinned platform called Dark Skin Activism, created in 1998. Thank you and enjoy listening. queenofdarkskin.com. Also, I want to encourage you guys to go ahead and purchase my book. It'll be released soon. It's called Token Dark Girl. I have written more books on dark skin than anyone in the world, including A Dark Skinned Girl's Triumph, the Rashida Strober story, How to Be the Hottest Dark Skinned Chick on the Planet, which is the first motivational book for dark skinned females, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against, and also A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. So Token Dark Girl is my newest release, and I encourage you to go to my website, queenofdarkskin.com, and get on the mailing list so that you will be updated when the book is released. Also, I am available for bookings of all kinds. All you have to do is contact me by visiting my website, queenofdarkskin.com, or you can email darkskinisbeautifulcampaign@gmail.com. Thank you. Everybody wants to know, who is Rashida Strober? And what's this dark-skinned thing she started? Well, Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark-skinned activist, is the first woman in history to create a movement only for dark skin. Rashida Strober is the creator, the originator, the architect of the first platform in history for dark skin. She created this dark skin platform in the year 1998 and called it Dark Skin Activism and called herself the Dark Skin Activist. Now, since 1998, Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark-skinned activist, built from the ground up the dark-skinned activist platform into a global brand. Facts about Rashida. Rashida Strober is the originator, creator, architect of the dark-skinned platform. 1998, Rashida gave birth to dark-skinned activism with a speech about the dark-skinned Sudanese model Alec Weck at St. Petersburg College. From 1998 to 2005, Rashida served as an activist in her community while continuing to develop creative works around only dark skin. In 2006, Rashida created the Dark Skin Activist Tour featuring her one-woman play, A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. In 2009, Rashida built the first dark-skinned website. Also in 2009, Rashida brought the first dark-skinned platform to social media by creating the first channel for dark-skinned on YouTube and social media. In 2012, Rashida created the first dark-skinned show that focused only on the issues of dark skin, called A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. In 2011, Rashida created the concept, the paradigm of Darkism. That's right, Darkism, meaning the discrimination of dark-skinned people. And she wrote and published the book, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. Now, the book can be found at queenofdarkskin.com or Amazon. In 2013, Rashida wrote the first motivational book for dark-skinned females called How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet. The book can be found at queenofdarkskin.com or Amazon. In 2013, Rashida made history by appearing on TV as the first to bring the dark-skinned platform to the masses, by being the first to bring the bullied for a dark-skinned girl narrative to TV when she discussed her play A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge on Bay News 9. In 2014, Rashida brought dark-skin counseling online and has since counseled countless people on colorism and darkism. She is the first person in history to do colorism and darkism counseling. In 2014, Rashida introduced the Dark Skin Activist platform to the Tommy Sotomayor Show, which was previously unheard of. Since 2014, Rashida set the colorism debate standards that all others have followed by debating countless men and women on social media in regards to colorism and darkism. YouTube Rashida Strober interviews. In 2015, the dark-skinned activist brand became famous and known to millions because of the Kendrick Lamar beef Rashida had with Kendrick in regards to colorism and darkism. In 2015, people all over the world wrote about the dark-skinned activist Rashida Strober, including The Breakfast Club and Charlemagne, making Rashida Strober Donkey of the Day for being the dark-skinned activist and calling out Kendrick Lamar's colorism. In 2017, Rashida was an opponent in the first colorism/darkism debate with another woman on Sonetta TV. Rashida Strober is the first artist to focus her work only on dark skin. Rashida Strober is the first author to write only on dark skin. Rashida Strober has written more books on dark skin than anyone in the world. Rashida Strober has written more plays on dark skin than anyone in the world. Rashida Strober is the creator of social commentary on dark skin. Rashida Strober is the first actress to initiate performances only on dark skin. Rashida Strober is the first debater to focus only on darkism and colorism. Rashida Strober is the creator of the paradigm darkism. Rashida Strober is the undisputed queen of dark skin, as evidenced by her stellar record that stems back to 1998 when she built the first dark skin platform called Dark Skin Activism. queenofdarkskin.com. Rashida Strober, the dark skin activist.
Don't make none of us sleep, obviously, because we're all a little goofy. But again, you're in town. You got your one woman play tonight.
Yes.
And you are what you describe yourself as a dark skin activist. Can you explain to myself and our audience what is a dark skin activist?
Absolutely. I'm the dark skinned activist.
Okay.
Right. No, I don't say that out of arrogance. I say it because people did not believe in what I'm doing. They thought it, in fact, all over social media, people said, what the hell is a dark skinned activist? They still say it.
Right.
What are you talking about? This is crazy. But what dark skin activism came out of is my own life experience.
Yes.
Experiencing what I call darkism. I wrote a book of the same title called Darkism, 25 Ways Dark Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. And what that basically is dark skin discrimination. And I honed in specifically on dark skin because people said, look, you need to just stick with black people. That's colorism. I created a new paradigm to speak specifically about what dark skinned people go through that's swept underneath the rug. And so I'm from the South, and darkism is thick and heavy down south.
Right.
So what it consists of is, of course, the racism that started out of European colonialism and expansionism that led to slavery, and then that led to colorism and darkism. So it's dark skin discrimination.
So when I think of, again, you let me know if I'm right or wrong here, but I think of what a dark-skinned activist is needed is really kind of geared toward us, because if we're dealing with racism with white and black racism, doesn't matter if you're high yellow like Albie Shore or you're dark like Yappy Kodo. But when it comes to activism, it seems like it's more internal racism, you know, where light-skinned person feels they're better because they're light-skinned, or they have the curly hair, similar to School Days, what Spike Lee made many years ago.
So wannabes and the jigaboo.
Right, exactly. So when we talk about the discrepancy between light and dark, give me some examples growing up in Florida, South, and that the area you live in could be a little aggressive. I won't just keep it like that. But talk about some experiences you've had that has led you to have